Welcome in, welcome back. We're the Real Selection Committee. My name's Mike. This is Greg. And Merry Christmas. And we're working Happy New Year's coming up here. Playoff round 2 is up and coming. We're going to review those matchups there. We're going to talk about last week, the round 1 plays, who won that, and our little review of that. Plus, we'll even talk about a couple of the bowl games. So let's just dive into round 1. You know, these teams that got in there. Friday night's matchup was number 9 Alabama versus number 8 Oklahoma. We both picked Oklahoma to win this game, and Alabama won this 34-24. Kind of seized control of this game. I think Mateer had a very bad game in this game here. He struggled.
Well, you know, what I've seen of the game, you know, Oklahoma actually held a pretty good overall yardage lead. It's 362 to 260 yards, but that doesn't matter. The scoreboard's what matters. Oklahoma rushes out to a 17-0 game, and I'm thinking, what a genius I am. The next thing you know, here comes Alabama. Yeah. You know, that pick six Alabama had really changed the complexion of the game. And then Oklahoma's punter decides to drop the ball. He's going to punt, and he drops it.
Yeah.
It looked like Oklahoma wanted to lose because that was what? And then the pick six, there wasn't even a guy from Oklahoma out there.
Yeah, right. So,
I mean, did Mateer forget that they were wearing white? Because Alabama's colors are similar to Oklahoma's.
Yeah. That was a miscommunication. I think he thought he was running a quick out pass. He ran upfield, and the defender pulled off, and he was right there to catch the ball, and that was it.
But then, you know, Bama, to their credit, they ran off 27 straight. And then Oklahoma, come back to 27-24. This game had excitement, suspense. Alabama gets it done, which is not a real shock. I mean, we both felt Alabama could win that game.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We just thought everything was leaning towards Oklahoma, and it was a great game. Both teams showed up. Just Bama was a little bit better.
Yeah, the key to me was they got their run game going a little bit. Alabama got their running game in this going on, and that's the key. That's the key to success for Alabama going forward.
Yeah, they've got to be a little more two-dimensional. You can't put it all on Simpson.
Yeah. Because
you put the chips in the defense's hands then if they know what's coming.
Yeah, yeah. So that's Saturday. The other 3 games of the first round were, you know, you had a lot of questions on a couple of the teams that made it in. The first game of that week, that noon kickoff, was Miami versus Texas A&M at Texas A&M. We felt that A&M had a little upper hand in this game, but we thought it was a very close matchup. These two teams were really close. Miami, what a low-scoring game. Miami won this 10-3. I mean, these teams barely put points on the board.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it was 0-0 at half. I thought my phone froze. You know, and then I see 3-0 heading into the fourth quarter, and I'm like, what is going on? I did feel Miami would win this game. Miami wins 10-3. They missed 3 field goals. Texas A&M had 3 turnovers. Right there, you know, is kind of you can't turn the ball over in a low-scoring game like that. A&M, unfortunately, those banana peels that are usually there in the regular season, well, they showed their ugly head in this game. But that being said, A&M had a really good season.
Yeah.
And Miami, they move on to play Ohio State.
Yep. Miami had got their run game going in this game, and this is why they moved on. Mark Fletcher Jr., 172 rushing yards in this game, and that was pretty much the difference maker in this game here.
That and in the turnover battle. But
so let's go to the other game here, which was Ole Miss and Tulane. These two played each other earlier in the season, and this game kind of was a mirror image of it. It basically was 41-10.
Yeah.
Ole Miss put it to Tulane. We kind of wondered how their state of mind was coming into this game.
Yeah.
If Lane Kiffin leaving would kind of disrupt their game plan. struggle out of the gates a little bit. We thought maybe Tulane could see some of that gameplay in that, but it ended up being the same as it was the first time playing here.
Well, here's what I'll say. Obviously, Ole Miss is better. They dominated. But understand this. Tulane moved the ball in this game. It wasn't a bunch of 3-and-outs. Tulane moved the ball decently. They just could not score.
Yeah.
So while it was a 41-10 game, Tulane was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yes, it was a blowout. You can argue whatever you want. I don't want to hear it because I'm fine with it. And as we learned today, in the NFL, there's going to be a team get in with a losing record. Should we cancel the playoffs?
Yes.
It is what it is. Yes, Ole Miss moves on. Now you get Ole Miss and Georgia again. Who's complaining about that?
Yeah.
Absolutely nobody.
Yeah. Yep. Last game of that first round was James Madison traveled to Oregon. Here was another mismatch coming into this game. That score ended up being Oregon 51, James Madison 34. You did see James Madison have a little success in this game, was able to move the ball, put some points up on the board.
Yeah.
It wasn't a complete blowout, but right now Oregon's one of those hot teams, and you better worry about them going forward in these playoffs.
Yeah, Oregon, it was, Oregon really had the upper hand the whole game, but James Madison didn't quit. And that's the important thing here. You can, here again, complain all you want about James Madison. It is what it is. Okay? And like to your point, 51-34, Madison covered. James Madison covered. Now, it was a backdoor cover because it was 51-26.
Yeah.
James Madison could have just said, we quit.
Right.
They didn't.
Right.
It was 48-20 heading into the fourth quarter. So, James Madison, call them garbage touchdowns if you want to. They still scored. I'm sure Oregon didn't just say, we don't care.
Right.
It is what it is, folks. Let's move on. Oregon now leads into Texas Tech, and I think that might be the sleeper game of the weekend.
That is a great game. Great game for sure.
Yep.
James Madison did, like you said, the committee's hands were tied based on the beginning of the season. The format of this playoff structure here was, you picked 5 of the highest ranked conference winners, and that's why Tulane and James Madison got in. I'm not going to argue the fact, hey, maybe you put Vanderbilt in, maybe you put Notre Dame in. Would they have lost in the first round? I mean, that's just, with that being said, I mean, it's hard to find the right format and structure to get in the best teams because some get hot, some tail off, and, it's hard to pick.
Let me say it this way. Okay, you said Vanderbilt, and I don't think you really intend that. Vanderbilt didn't beat anybody.
Right.
Okay, and I know what you're saying. They were 10-2, is your point. Do we know Vanderbilt could have beat either James Madison or Tulane?
Right.
Because understand this. We go back to 2024, Vanderbilt beat Alabama. 2 weeks before that, they lost a team that went 3-9, Georgia State.
Right.
Do not tell me Vanderbilt anyone is a shoo-in.
Yes.
We could put Notre Dame in. We could put Brigham Young in. Brigham Young played Georgia Tech in the bowl game.
Yeah.
Slipped by them. So do not give me Brigham Young and Notre Dame deserved it. The way it was set up is the way it happened. Yes, maybe James Madison or Tulane, one of them maybe didn't deserve to be there.
Right.
But to your point, criteria, they stuck to it. More power to them. You want these other teams in? Expand the playoffs.
And I think that's probably what they're going to sit down and review and go over. And it's probably the most likely thing to happen. Because, I mean, what's left? Because they changed it from the previous year, when the highest ranked team or conference winners got the high seeds. Now they changed that and went to the ranking system. And that didn't work. This is college football. This is... games happen, teams upset teams.
Exactly.
And it's hard to narrow that down, it's tough. So I think the expansion is probably what they're going to hammer this offseason, and you might see that.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with all the way up to 24. It'll probably go to 16. Look, if you're arguing to be 11-12,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Chances are tough for you to win
you
it all
weren't gonna
anyway.
win.
Yeah, it's tough to win it all anyway.
Let's let these other teams in. Let's grow programs. Let's grow the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, yeah. So let's any of these bowl games happening here that you would like to talk about. There was some good bowl games that happened yesterday.
Well, what I would like to say is just about all the bowl games that played yesterday were exciting and fun. And I'd like to give a shout out to all the teams that played yesterday because they looked like they wanted to play. And they get a good job, gentlemen, where Notre Dame gets a, I don't care if I see you again because you quit and went home with your little ball. The Louisville LSU game was outstanding. Okay. Both teams played like it was the World Championship game. You know, that was a great game. Virginia, Missouri, very close game. The BYU Georgia Tech game was really good. These two got after it. And you want to talk?
That was a battle back and forth in this game.
Yes.
BYU came from behind, 25-21 in that game. That was a fun game.
And you want to talk teams that could have been disinterested. Both these teams were looking like playoff teams 2 weeks to go with the season, in the season, right?
Right.
And BYU, for all intents and purposes, got knocked out in their championship game because of how they lost.
And that wasn't supposed to, hurt them, but it did. Yes.
Well, it hurt them simply because of the criteria.
Yes.
So. But those two teams put on a heck of a clinic. And then you had the Penn State-Clemson game, which
two preseason teams we thought would play each other.
We almost thought we're going to be in the championship game. I thought Penn State would win it all. We were both high on Clemson. They both showed up. I know Penn State had some players sitting out. I know Cade Klubnik, however you pronounce it, he played for Clemson. Yes. And these kids actually went out and tried to play and do something. So a lot of hats off to them. Much respect for going out there and playing when really a lot of these other teams went home mad.
Yeah, that was a nice win for Penn State in that game to come out and show that they still have a decent roster, have some of these young kids still there that I think with their new hire, Matt Campbell, they could get right back in track and still be a good team going forward. Yeah. I mean, that was a good hire there.
Absolutely. Well, I like Matt Campbell. Maybe not the flashy name, but Matt Campbell's done really good with Iowa State.
He's had major success with Iowa State.
And Iowa State is a team that over the years has always been respectable, but he had them a little bit better than respectable. So I like Matt Campbell going to Penn State. What will he be able to do? It might take him a year or so. Some of these recruits left, but he'll get them back. They'll be back.
Yeah, he'll still get talented players there,
and this bowl game, I think, will help him.
Oh, yeah, I think they're in the right direction. I definitely think they improved a little bit. So that was our take on these bowl games. I mean, that was fun matchups. There's some key matchups coming up in the bowl scenario. New Year's Eve, there's some big matchups. Michigan and Texas are going to play. That's a good battle there. Arizona State and Duke is kind of an interesting matchup coming up. Nebraska, Utah's another one.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's some good earlier in the day matchups. That Wednesday, New Year's Eve, Iowa plays Vanderbilt. That's another good matchup. But with that being said, we're here to dive into these semifinal games here. Awesome matchups. I think they're all going to be pretty fun games to watch here.
No sleeping at the wheel now.
Yeah, no, it's getting tough now. We're getting in some heck of a matchups here. So let's dive into the New Year's Eve matchup. Number 10, Miami versus number 2, Ohio State. Now, the line opened up as Ohio State is a 10-point favorite in this game here. What do you see going into this game? What's your keys to success in this game here?
Ohio State needs to do what Ohio State does. Defense is going to show up, right? The offense just has to throw the ball, get your weapons involved, open up the running game, use the running game after you've opened it up. Miami's defensive line is really tough. Offensive line's got to get their head out of their butt. Can't play like they did against Indiana against Miami because Miami is one team in this playoff, other than Indiana, who could give the Buckeyes trouble if Ohio State's offense comes with a less than stellar performance.
Yeah.
And for Miami, utilize that defensive line, get after the Buckeyes, right? Mm-hmm. Their key is on defense. Mm-hmm. If they can do to Ohio State what Indiana did, Miami can probably do enough to really be a threat. Mm-hmm. This isn't going to be an easy game for Ohio State.
Right.
You know, Miami's a quality football team and is capable. That being said, I think Ohio State can win and cover.
Yeah.
10 points ain't a lot.
Yeah.
In the grand, it sounds like a lot when you're talking a spot, but getting beat by 10, you're not getting your doors blown off. Mm-hmm. So I think Ohio State wins this game. Let's call it a 31-21 score. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about these offenses here. Both of these averaging. Ohio State's offense averages 430 yards a game, 34 points a game. Miami's offense, they're really similar in as far as production. Miami's offense, 413 yards a game, 32 points per game.
Yeah.
So these offenses are really decent, really close to each other. The difference in this matchup to me is going to be the defense here. Defense, Ohio State's ranked number 1 nationally. Yeah. They've held teams to 213 yards per game, 8.2 points a game. Yeah. This is the defense here, elite defense, great coach, defensive coach here with Matt
Patricia.
Matt Patricia's the defensive coach. What a great coach there. Now, Miami's defense is stout up front. That front seven is going to be the key, I think, in this game here. Their defense allows 281 yards a game, 13 points per game. Yeah. So they're really close here. The difference here is let's dive into, let's say, the star players on this team. Ohio State has that matchup.
Yeah.
They got a lot more stars on offense and defensive thing here. It boils down to the gameplay here. Right. What style of offense is Ohio State going to attack Miami's defense with? Yeah. And what's Ohio State's defense going to attack Miami's offense? Are they going to get after Carson Beck? Are they going to chase him around to keep him in the pocket?
Well, let's say right now Carson Beck is going to be a major decider in this. If he comes in and plays turnover football, which he's prone to do against better teams, Ohio State runs him out of the building. If he comes out and plays like the quarterback that had Georgia in the running and led Miami to 10 wins and a win over Texas A&M, albeit it wasn't overly pleasing to the eye, then Miami has the shot, and Miami's capable of winning this game.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, I've been seeing a lot of people bringing up the old 2002 game. That will have no effect on this game, people.
Right.
Miami, these kids on Miami could care less about that. They're here to play for this year.
Yeah, yeah. So my thing for Ryan Day, I want to see spread the ball out. I don't want to pile in there and keep this outstanding defensive line of Miami get after Sayin, because the last game we witnessed was Indiana getting after Sayin and attacking, and 5 sacks in this game was probably the worst he had looked all season.
Yeah.
So you can't let Miami's D-line get after Sayin. They got to be spread the ball out with those playmakers. Quick passes, I think, is kind of the key on offense for Ohio State. Spread it out, and then you got Bo Jackson who can run the ball up, off end or up the middle or whatever you need to do to kind of keep chains going.
Well, you have your running backs, chip lineman, right? You have your tight end, help the tackle, double team Bain, and handle business.
Yeah.
And, Miami's whole defensive line is strong, but that Bain is a problem.
Yeah.
So
he's an early draft pick.
You got to get 2 guys on him. And, your tight end can help that tackle, at least keep the guy from getting around him. Your running backs can learn to chip. Keep saying safe. You've got so many weapons.
Yeah.
You should have somebody open everywhere. And you need to go over your dump-off pass. If they blitz you, there should be a guy in that
Hot
area
route.
to throw to.
Yeah, definitely a hot route. Yeah.
So, Sayan looked a little lost, and a lot of that was the Buckeyes didn't face that all year. Indiana had a great game plan.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Now that the Buckeyes have seen that, I believe they'll have the answer for
Adjust.
that. But Miami's defense, while it may not be Indiana's, right there with them. Mm-hmm. They're solid. So I agree with you. And the key for Miami is don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
If you get an opportunity to score, you better score, whether it's 3 or 7. You better put them points on the board.
Yeah. So attacking on the other side, let's flip this. Ohio State's #1 defense going against Miami, who, if you get the good Carson back, he's trouble. He's trouble.
Yeah.
And you got Malachi Toney, who's an outstanding freshman, led the team in receptions and yards, dangerous in space. Now we saw Mark Fletcher Jr., 172 yards rushing. He's a big, bruising running back. He's explosive. So these are guys you got to worry about in game plan as far as Ohio State's defense coming into this game. If we can get after Beck, he does turn the ball over, and this could be the change in the game here. The difference here is turnovers. Can you get Carson Beck to turn the ball over, and that would be a big help for Ohio State in their game plan. Miami is a tough defense, and
they are.
They're pressure on the offense, Ohio State's offense, is going to be, I think, the key in this game.
Yeah.
Can we control that front seven? Can Ohio State, who's had 10 days to game plan for this, they've gotten healthy. They've had 2 weeks prior to that to get healthy, kind of get these guys up to speed here, game plan. Miami's had 10 days now, so they're ready for Ohio State in this game as well.
Right.
This game is going to be, I think, you keep seeing it both ways, a blowout. Ohio State's too good for them. I'm kind of worried about this. I think this game's going to be a close in the trench battles here.
I think Ohio State gets it done. There ain't going to be a blowout. I don't foresee there being a blowout unless Carson Beck comes up and throws the ball to Ohio State all game long. If you're Ohio State's defense, you were asking the question there, do what you do. You shut down Penn State and those two great running backs. Fletcher's a really good running back, but you've seen Katron Allen. The Big Ten is full of good running backs. You shut running games down. You shut passing games down. Do what you do. Don't change a whole lot. Okay? If you're Miami, you better take what this defense gives you. Don't turn the ball over. Take what it gives you. That gives you your chance. There's my breakdown of it. As I said, I think the Buckeyes win 31-21 or some sort of a 10 or 11 point gap. But it's going to be a really good football game because Miami's too good to get blown out. I'm not listening to none of that talk.
Right. Now we got Ryan Day taking over the play calling in this thing. What I like to see Ryan Day do as far as this is get out of that 13, 14 personnel with 3 to 4 tight ends on the playing field when you got such good outside guys to spread the ball where there's a lot of options. They have to do that for me because if they want to fight in the trenches and us try to prove that we're a more stronger team, more powerful team, I think we're going to struggle in that game. And they're going to keep them in the game, and I think Miami could have success in that by keeping the game close.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to run the ball on 4th and 1, let Bo Jackson or the other guys run.
Yeah.
Don't give it to your smallish quarterback.
Yeah.
Judge the game. If your offensive line is getting shoved around, well, perhaps we need to run a sweep or a bubble screen or something of that nature in the short yardage.
Yeah.
If you're having success, because our offensive line is good enough to handle Miami, if they play their best, then you run. But judge how your line's doing. Everybody could see that the line was struggling against Indiana. Why are you going like you say? Why are you getting extra tight ends in?
Right.
They're not in the middle. Your middle was struggling.
Yeah.
They were getting owned.
Yeah.
Get that fixed.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it fixed, then run wide.
Yeah.
Use your speed. We are better athletes than most teams. We might be the one team in college football that's better athletic than Miami. There it is.
Yeah. As far as the game, it's going to be close. It's going to be right. I mean, that spread is amazing right there. They know something, right? That 10 points is about where I have this game being at. I got a 28-17 kind of score.
Yeah.
Ohio State winning this game. Think they're able to spread the field, make those playmakers downfield get open, and they got to have a quick game going. They can't try to powerhouse them until they get them softened up on the downfield.
Yeah. Our strength is the speed and the playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
How are you covering Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and Brandon Ennis and Max Clare and Kazmarek?
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Bo Jackson,
right,
and our other running backs, and I can't think
James
of
Peoples,
and CJ
Donaldson.
These guys are good players.
Mm-hmm.
Utilize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got Ohio State. You got Ohio State winning this game. I got them just covering.
Yeah.
With a 28-17 score.
Well, I got them right on the spot, so I guess I would have it as a wash. But this game, anyone talking about a blowout? I don't see a blowout.
No.
I don't see it getting too much worse than the score you predicted.
Yeah. So let's get in. Let's go to the next game, the first game of New Year's Day. That's going to be Oregon and Texas Tech. So that's the Orange Bowl Capital One game here. It starts at noon. This is an interesting matchup. These two teams right here, I'm really interested in seeing here because is Texas Tech for real? I know we've been on them all year. This is the team I like to call of mercenaries, where they spent quite the income to bring in some players for 1 year, one shot, go after the title here, and now you have Oregon with. Oregon, the last couple of years, has been building up to a powerhouse. They won the Big Ten last year, and they lost, 2 games this year. Mm-hmm. They're back in the mist. They got a great quarterback in Dante Moore. What an interesting matchup. How do you, right off the rip, keys and matchups here in this game?
Well, to me, how does Texas Tech handle the layoff? This is new territory. They played in bowl games. So they're used to a layoff, but bowl games aren't. This is big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oregon, how are they going to react to, we're in the second round now where we got blown out last year. Mm-hmm. I think these two teams are mirror images of one another. This game might go on for 3 or 4 days. Mm-hmm. They're that close. I mean, to me, because it could go to overtime, and the overtime is who doesn't score. These teams are so close. Mm-hmm. This game could go on forever. I think Oregon is going to advance. Mm. Don't ask me why I think Oregon, because I do believe Texas Tech is the real deal. Mm-hmm. But Oregon is pretty scary. Oregon's on a mission.
Right.
They, if they get by Texas Tech, there's a good chance they get to see Indiana again. Mm-hmm. And if they get by Indiana, there's a potential they would see Ohio State again, which they would want to beat both of those teams for obvious reasons. Sure. Now, I'm not jumping the gun because I'm not saying Indiana's a walkover on Alabama, and I'm not pushing Ohio State right into the championship game either. Just what we see. Oregon's going to be very motivated. Probably more so than Texas Tech, because Oregon has other things on their mind as well. Mm-hmm. I think Oregon's slightly better, but I do think Texas Tech is for real, and I think, either one of these teams are going to be trouble for the winner of Indiana-Alabama.
Right. Yeah. So let's dive into the offenses here. The offense, Oregon is a run-heavy unit. They average 39.2 points per game. And Texas Tech averages 42.5. Yeah. Texas Tech is number 2 in the nation at scoring. Yeah. So this team is a high prolific team. Oregon is a heavy rushing game, and Texas Tech is a heavy passing game here. Defensively, both defenses are strong. Oregon's strong against the pass. They're 6th in the nation of allowing yards pass, so they're a good defense. Texas Tech, here's another team. Third in scoring defense. They've only given up 10.9 points a game.
Yeah.
So this is an awesome defense Texas Tech has here coming in this game. So we're talking about this, the key matchups, offense versus defense. It's the defense of Texas Tech is their leader against the Oregon's offense, which is their main thing here.
Right.
That's the key matchups here, I think, that,
Well,
how are they going to handle, Oregon's offense versus Texas defense, Texas Tech.
just a little more, it's hard to say how that's going to play out. But I will say this. Oregon plays tougher teams. Texas Tech, great team, smashed BYU twice, but the Big 12 was not as strong as the Big 10.
Yeah.
Oregon's been playing the Big 10, and Oregon had some really good wins down the stretch of the season. So this is a team that's been battle-tested against really tough teams. Brigham Young, to me, is a borderline playoff team. Texas Tech beat them twice. But I just think, to be honest, Oregon's played a tougher schedule, a little more battle-ready, a little more used to playing in the playoffs. So I'm leaning towards Oregon in this. Let's say Oregon wins this game 31-28.
Well, now you said this, the line right now is at 2.5. Oregon's favored, so you're right there. Yeah. So the matchup breakdown: Oregon's offense versus Texas Tech defense. Texas Tech has the number 1 ranked rushing defense. So, and like I said, Oregon needs to establish this run game and get a little comfortable back there where he can dissect and pick apart the Texas defense downfield, which he's a heck of a talented kid here. The Red Raiders, they love passing the ball. Byron Morton is healthy. He's back. He's
really
looking good
in his own right.
He's a very good quarterback. He's one that is tops in the nation as far as pass efficiency, getting the ball downfield. He's healthy. He was out for a few games. Texas Tech managed without him. Here's the thing here. Texas Tech is like passing the ball against Oregon's defense. Who's going to win this? The turnovers, I think, is the biggest key in this game.
Yeah.
Can Oregon turn over Texas Tech throwing the ball?
Well, we'll see. I'll say this. If Texas Tech gets by Oregon, watch out. Because now you've got a team who I think they believe they belong, I think. But if they get by Oregon, now they know.
Yeah.
And that could be very dangerous. And I have said all year long that Texas Tech to me is a mirror image of Indiana, because Texas Tech's one loss was because the quarterback didn't play.
Right. Byron Morton, yeah.
And they lost to Arizona State by 4 points. I can't remember the exact score. Very close game, 26-22, I believe. This is a team that if you give them an inch, they will take a mile.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, the players to watch in this game: Dante Moore. Can he get that pass game going? Jordan Davis is a running back. He's gonna get touches. So, and then the Raiders, like we talked, Byron Morton is an efficient passer here. Cameron Dickey's a good runner. Their receivers are good. I mean, that 2.5 to me is tough to call. I do like Oregon to win this game here. I think Oregon has a lot of big name players. My key player in this game is Kenyon Sadiq, that tight end who is imposing statue of muscle. I mean, this kid is huge, and he's a heck of a ball catcher. I mean, I think he's the key in this game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're hitting the nail on the head. And the 2.5 point spread, that tells you that everybody sees these two teams right there together. And this is what the playoffs is all about, this game here. This is going to go down to the wire.
Yeah.
You're going to be on the edge of your seats, I believe, unless one team has a turnover fest. If both teams play clean football, watch it. I don't know how long this game could go.
Yeah, I got a higher scoring game in this. I got I like Oregon winning this game. I got Oregon winning this by a touchdown. I got 34-28, 34-26, something like that.
yeah.
I got Oregon winning
yeah.
this game, but I got Texas Tech playing in this game.
Oh, Texas Tech's going to factor in. And if I hear anybody say they didn't belong, I might go to their house and slap them. Because come on, people.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an exciting game. This is what playoffs are for.
Yeah, Texas Tech is impressive. We liked them all season long. I think they're
Still
going
like
to
'em.
show why they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
They are the number 4 team. They got to buy. You know, this is a good team here, but I think Oregon's hot.
Yeah.
Now let's dive into which is Alabama versus Indiana here. This game here is another interesting game here. Just what's your take right off the jump here? Your breakdown, your key matchups in
I
this
believe
game.
if Indiana plays Indiana football, they win. That's my take. I think Indiana is better than Alabama in every way. With Alabama, we don't know what we're getting with them. I mean, they got blown off the field in the SEC championship game, and then they come in against Oklahoma, and we're down 17-0. You better not fall behind Indiana 17-0. You know, Oklahoma was a good team. Indiana's a great team. I think Indiana is better than Alabama. Sounds funny to say that. Indiana is clearly the better team here. If Indiana plays Indiana football, Bama has no chance. I'm not saying a blowout. Okay. But understand what I mean. Indiana's better. Indiana football beats Alabama football because we don't know what we're getting with Alabama.
Yeah.
Bottom line, that's how I'm going to break it down. I think Indiana's defense is a whole lot tougher than people think.
Yeah.
Look at what they did to the Buckeyes.
Yeah, this is a interesting matchup in this Rose Bowl game. Indiana's favored by 6.5 in this game. Like you said, let's mention this. Offense. Indiana has the Heisman winner here, Fernando Mendoza here. Let's talk about this team. They average 472 yards per game. They're ranked number 10 in the nation. They got a great balanced attack. They average 250 passing, 220 rushing. So this team here is a good built team here, which I think they're going to cause fits for Alabama. Now let's talk about Alabama here. Their offense, they average 380 yards a game, 270 passing. They are a very heavy passing team. This is not an Alabama of old. They're not very good at running. They only average 109 rush yards a game, which is the difference here. If this is a rushing team, Alabama is Alabama. This ain't Alabama. This is a passing Alabama. Ty Simpson kind of got it going a little bit last weekend. He had a few slip-up games that was struggling. Maybe that was due to injury. They're averaging 31 points per game scoring. Key matchup here. Now, defensively, everybody's sleeping on Indiana. Indiana's defense is very good. Total defense, they're 4th in the FBS as far as yards allowed, 257. They're 2nd in the FBS in scoring defense. 10.8 points per game. So don't sleep on this Indiana team here. They're coming in and playing, I think, not the same type of Alabama that we're used to. This could be a struggle bus here for Alabama.
Alabama is capable of playing old Alabama football. They have a really good football team. But the mentality of this Alabama team is not as of old. And I do not think this Alabama team is as good as Indiana. I don't. And, you know, the only thing, if Alabama can run the football and keep to not being one-dimensional, they'll have a shot. But they're going to have to get Indiana to turn the ball over, and they're going to have to hit some big plays against Indiana. Otherwise, you're heading home.
Yeah.
And that's, I know that's kind of a, you know, what anyone would say, but that's the way it is. Indiana's better. The only thing I can see that could hurt Indiana is the weight. Sitting and waiting. I hate that. You want to talk about what needs to change in the playoffs? This sitting around waiting.
3 weeks is
dumb.
For a long time.
That's what you people should be complaining about because we're not getting a real playoff. We're waiting, sitting around waiting. No.
Yeah.
Enough of that. But Indiana's better. I'm taking Indiana to win.
Yeah.
And I'm taking them to win. This is going to be, to me, the easy game. I think Indiana wins 31-17.
Wow. Yeah, like this defense isn't the same kind of defense that we're used to with Alabama as well. I mean, they give up 289 yards a game, 17.9 points per game. So that's pretty high considering it's in Alabama. Now they are getting back some key things, like you said. They're getting healthy. That could help Alabama. But the key matchups here, offense versus defense, as far as Indiana's offense versus Alabama's defense. Can the Heisman guy manipulate this ball down the field and keep a hold of the ball? The running game we like a lot with Roman Hemby is good. Now, receivers. Omar Cooper and Elijah Surratt is studs on Indiana. They are very good pass-catching weapons on this team here. Indiana's got a good offensive line. They're returning most of their starters on the offensive line. So this is a good team here.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be what this game's built on here. Can Indiana move the ball on Alabama's defense?
I think
this is the key.
That is yes.
And I agree with you. I think we saw the toughness that Fernando Mendoza has when they played Ohio State in the Big Ten and he got hit. And I thought he got knocked out of the game. He comes back in and all he does is throw great completion passes down the field, moves them down, and battled the whole game and pulled out the win.
Indiana moved the ball somewhat against Ohio State. Ohio State just kept making plays to stop them.
Yeah.
But Indiana did move the ball, outplayed Ohio State. And you know what? I give Alabama the credit. They play in the SEC, the toughest conference in there. So maybe some of their stats are a little skewed in the wrong direction. But this is a team that we've seen over and over struggle with their mentality. Indiana doesn't struggle with the mentality.
Yeah, they're built.
If Alabama falls behind 17-0, just go home. You're not making that comeback against Indiana. You may score a little bit.
You did it against Oklahoma, but
Oklahoma's a different animal.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's a good team, good solid team. That was a big win for Alabama. And if they can carry the mentality over from that game, maybe they stay. Maybe they're a little closer than I think. But for them to really win, they've got to run the football, and they've got to turn Indiana's got to turn the ball over and help them. They got to get a special teams play to go their way. These are the kinds of things that, to me, Alabama has to do to win. The types of things people used to have to do when they played them in the past.
Yeah.
That's what Alabama's got to do. I'm not going to say they don't have a chance. They're a damn good team. You know, we're usually Alabama's nothing. It's a good football team, but I think Indiana's better.
Yeah. I mean, on the other side, Bama, Ty Simpson needs to get that ball, and he needs to find Bernard. He's their big playmaker down the field. He's the guy I think is maybe the X factor for Alabama. They need to be able to run the ball for Alabama to be in this game. I'm along with you. I think Indiana, if they jump out and create turnovers and get after Simpson, I think this game's a wrap. I think Indiana's good enough to beat this team. I don't know if they're going to beat him by some outstanding score. I think it's going to be closer. This is Alabama, and Indiana's in this limelight, where they're not used to. Alabama's a blue blood, is always in the spotlight here. So it's very capable if they create some turnovers in this game that they're in the mix. They can be in this game. With that being said, I think Indiana's going to win this game, but I don't think they're going to cover that spot. I think Alabama hangs around, and it's like this is going to be not a high-scoring game in my mind. I think it's going to be 21-17, something like that is my score.
Well, and let me say this. In my mind, I don't think getting beat 31-17 is getting your doors blown off. You're in that game. This ain't going to be one of those where Indiana's up 31-7 and Alabama gets garbage touchdowns 31-17. This is going to be a competitive 31-17 where maybe Indiana gets up 14-0 and then they trade off. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. There's going to be some drama. I think Indiana's better. I think Indiana wins this game. I don't want to say convincingly, but not without a doubt.
Yeah.
Tight.
Yeah. Great matchup.
Yes, it is.
Last game of the round 2 here is going to be the Sugar Bowl matchup where we got the hot team Georgia Bulldogs playing Ole Miss. Now, we've seen these guys play before here. Is it going to be a different story this time, or how do you see this, the matchups?
Who was the quarterback when they played the first game? Was Trinidad Chambliss the quarterback, or was the other guy the quarterback? That's going to be the key to me. Georgia has made me eat crow. I still don't look at them as an 11-1 team. I think if there's an upset to be had, this is the game it happens in. That's me. Ole Miss is another team that has far exceeded. This is the exceeding my expectation game here, because I didn't think either of these teams would be anything this year, and they both had great seasons. I think Ole Miss could throw a bomb in this playoff. Trinidad Chambliss has been outstanding. I want to know, did he quarterback when they lost earlier in the year? Was he the quarterback, or was the other guy?
Austin Simmons.
Yeah.
I believe it was Chambliss.
Okay.
Simmons got hurt earlier.
I
in the
know
year.
Ole Miss was up big in that game. Georgia came back to win it. I'm pulling the rug out from under Georgia right here. I think Ole Miss shocks them. I think Ole Miss comes back, drives down the field at the end of the game, and takes it from Georgia. That's my opinion. Two great teams. They're kind of mirror images of each other in my mind. And here again, I'm not privy to all the stats. I go by what I see when I do my end of the week. I take all the scores down, look at all the teams they played. This is going to be a great game, but I'm going with Ole Miss for the upset.
Yeah.
This is my upset special.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's dive into these offenses here. Georgia averages 406 yards a game, 31.9 points per game. Ole Miss is offensively is number 2 in the nation as far as yards, 498 yards a game, 37.5 points per game. Ole Miss still questioning losing Kiffin. Does that play in and on this game here? Can they get it done? You know, that's the question here with me as far as offensively. Georgia's defense is showing up.
Yeah.
They are a lot better
Stout.
this year as this season progressed.
They got better.
They have gotten better all season long. Georgia, everyone's counting out and wanting Gunnar Stockton to show up and do something, and all he's done is shown up and won big games. He's a player. He's a gamer, is what they call this guy right here. I'm impressed with him. I'm impressed with Kirby Smart this year, because coming into this season, he wasn't sure about this team. He thought this team had a lot of work to go, and we kind of we agreed with him. They had a lot to prove, and all they did was prove themselves, got into this. This team is hot coming in to these playoff rounds here, you know. They beat up Alabama in the SEC championship game here. Now they're ready to play Ole Miss. They beat Ole Miss earlier in this season. So we got a little glimpse of these two playing each other. The key matchup to me is Gunnar Stockton, right? Is he going to come out and be this huge star, or is he going to flop out here in this game here? Trinidad Chambliss, we know, is a superstar and is a stud and can get things done.
Yeah. I'm going to answer it like this, because the only thing we saw of Gunnar Stockton last year was the SEC championship game and their playoff game. I don't believe Gunnar Stockton is the guy that's going to come out and lose the game for him. He's just like, he's a competitor, he's a battler. He may not do anything spectacular, but I do not think he's going to do anything on the other end of that spectrum, because I haven't seen him do anything that's terrible. Chambliss, on the other hand, is a lot of up, boom, 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 boom. You know, he's the exciting guy, right? If there's problems to be had, I think it's on the Ole Miss side of turnovers.
Yeah.
If Ole Miss plays a clean game, I think Ole Miss wins this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to your point about Georgia, Kirby Smart is an outstanding coach. This defense has grown into the season because I didn't have them ranked very high at the beginning of the year on the defensive side of the ball. And Gunnar Stockton is a gamer. He does not, from what I've seen of him, from what I've got, he does not make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
He does not put the ball in jeopardy. He does not put this team in bad positions. So I believe if Georgia gets beat, they're just going to get beat because they just don't do enough to win. But if there's turnovers involved, I think it'd be over on the Ole Miss side because that's where you got the newer guy, the more spectacular guy, and a lot of times when you're the more spectacular guy, you're more prone to making the more spectacular mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dumb analogy, but very true.
Yeah, no, I think the running backs on both sides of the ball, this are kind of the key. Nate Frazier for Georgia has to establish this run game.
Yes.
Zachariah Branch has to be a dangerous threat. Gunnar Stockton's kind of a dual kind of guy, but he's most of this year been a pocket guy. He hasn't leaked out and ran the ball, which he can do.
Yeah.
Now, Ole Miss on their side, Chambliss is a dual threat kind of guy, and he can move the chains. He can move the thing. But when we're getting back to the running back, Keywan Lacey, 1,300-yard rusher this season, 20 touchdowns. This guy's the key of this Ole Miss team right here, getting the ball. Harrison Wallace is the top receiving weapon on this team here, Ole Miss. Can Ole Miss move this ball on that defense, Georgia's defense? That's the struggle here with me.
I think
on deciding with going with an upset here. I think Georgia's defense is prime for this. They're ready for this game. I think they're going to cause fits for Chambliss. They're going to get after him. His playmaking ability. If he gets out and leaks out and gets the ball downfield, they could win this game very easily. I got Georgia winning this game.
And I don't blame you. I just think if there's an upset to be had, this is the one because this game played and it was a field goal difference.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss was up in this game.
Yeah.
And unlike you, I don't think losing Lane Kiffin is an issue because I don't think Lane Kiffin is that good of a coach. I think he's a goof. Sorry. He has great results, but I don't think he's all that good of a coach.
Yeah.
He's a mouth, and he's an idiot as far as I'm concerned. I think Ole Miss, if they play clean football, and I know that's a mighty big if, they beat Georgia if they play clean football. Chambliss is a big-time problem. The defense, to your point, they will cause him trouble, but he will cause them trouble. He's going to put a lot more stress on that defense than Gunnar Stockton puts on the Ole Miss defense. Because Gunnar Stockton, they don't have to really worry about him taking off. Gunnar Stockton may run for that 4 or 5 yards. Yes, he's mobile enough to do that. But you don't have to worry about him dropping back and then just taking off. It's not his game.
Right.
Chambliss has that plus the passing game. Mississippi's got sneaky good players. Mississippi has gained that experience. They've gained that we can win. They win 11-1 too. The only loss was to Georgia, which they had that game in the bag.
Yeah, they were up on them. Yeah.
So everything's there for Ole Miss to pull this off.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a 10-point win by Georgia, which is with that being said, like you said, Ole Miss dominated a lot of that game in the first matchup here with the playmaking ability of Chambliss in that game. But I got it. I got him winning 31-20, kind of 31-21 kind of score here. I think, to me, this is, and I don't even want to use the word blowout because 10 points is not a blowout. This is the furthest game I have as far as point spreads.
Sure.
I have Georgia winning it, but it's an outstanding matchup game here. The key matchups, it's going to be fun. This whole weekend's going to be amazing. I'm excited for it. It's going to be great.
We could see games go down to the wire, every one of them. They could be, every team could drive at the end of the game to win the game. Could see that, but there ain't going to be a bad game. it ain't setting up. You're not going into this week saying they're going to blow them out.
Yeah.
If you are,
no,
you're dumb.
You'd be a fool if you thought it was going to be
Could there be a
not
blowout?
even a close game.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. We've
Yeah.
seen Super Bowls have blowouts in them, gang.
Yeah.
Let's quit using a blowout to say, well, we shouldn't have had that team in there.
Yeah.
People are allowed to have bad games.
Yep. Yeah, with that being said, like and subscribe. Please comment down below how you see these games playing out and enjoy this. We only got a few more rounds to go here, and then college season's over and we go on to the next season. College football, the greatest sport out there. Like and subscribe. Let us know. Catch you next week.
Peace!